Hutton hurtles through Worcestershire batting to put Northants on top. The County Championship season resumed with Northants fourth in the table, just outside the promotion places but well placed to challenge. And Worcestershire weren't out of it either, down in ninth, but only 37 points behind third spot. The good news for the visitors was the inclusion of Dwaine after he was left out by England. And after they won the toss and chose to bat, he was soon at the crease. That's because Jack Haynes was bowled by Brett Hutton's first ball of the innings, and Worcestershire were immediately struggling. Dwaine soon lost another partner, Mitchell, caught by Wakely off Sanderson. And after that, Hutton took over. Ferguson trapped LBW for one, before Milton was caught behind off the very next ball to leave the visitors 15 for 4. While their England stars stuck around and played a few shots, the chaos continued at the other end. Vessels fell LBW in Hutton's next over, and then Cox was caught by Keogh to become the second golden duck of the innings. At 31 for 6, Hutton had figures of 5 for 19, and Worcester's innings was in complete disarray. In Barnard, Dwaine finally found a batsman to stay with him, and they at least took the score past 50, before Northants claimed the prize scalp, Dwaine falling to a poor shot caught by Proctor at cover to give Buck his first wicket, out for 42. Barnard and Parnell surviving to lunch at 96 for 7. The pair had added exactly 50 when Parnell became Hutton's sixth victim, caught by Keogh for 30. But in contrast to their top order, the Worcester tail continued to resist. Barnard was eventually bowled off an inside edge by Pretorius for 27, but skipper Leach and Tongue found some real fluency, adding 52 in less than 8 overs, before Tongue was the last man out, removed by Buck for 20, leaving Leach unbeaten on 53 off just 39 balls. 186 all out wasn't what Worcestershire had in mind when they chose to bat, but it was still a reasonable recovery from 31 for 6. A memorable 2 sessions for Hutton, who finished with 6 for 57. Now Northants had to contend with the Wantage Road pitch, and at first they found it equally tricky. Newton was bowled by Tongue for just 2, and Ben Curran had made a patient 10 before he fell LBW to Parnell. But after that, Wakely and Keogh ignored all the demons in the wicket and compiled an impressive stand. Scoring became easy, with Wakely winning the race to his half-century as the home side moved closer to Worcestershire's first innings total. Keogh's 50 arrived soon after, closely followed by his departure, caught at slip off Parnell for 53. But Wakely was still there at the close, 63 not out, and at 140 for 3, Northants are well placed to take firm control of the game on day 2. Wakely, Pretorius and Sanderson put Northants firmly on top. Definitely advantaged Northants after day 1 at Wantage Road. They reduced Worcestershire to 31 for 6, with Brett Hutton the standout bowler, before skipper Joe Leach led a fight back for the visitors, who were all out for 186. In reply, the hosts reached 140 for 3 at the close, with Alex Wakely 63 not out. After being hit on the head while batting on day 1, Northants' Nathan Buck was withdrawn from the match, so Dwaine Pretorius joined Wakely in the middle at the start of day 2. And both batsmen were soon playing their shots as they moved towards and then past the Worcestershire total. As the partnership began to flourish, it was Pretorius who played the leading role. He reached a half-century with 7 4s and 2 6s, and it wasn't long before the home side were building a decent lead. Wakely was playing the supporting role as the pair completed a century stand, but just before lunch he secured his first 100 of the summer. But the Centurion didn't last long when play resumed, Wakely offering no stroke to Parnell and losing his off stump, out for 102. His replacement Rossington was soon gone too, bowled by Leach for 1. But Pretorius pressed on, eventually reaching a century on his championship debut, a fantastic knot with 2 6s and 14 4s. By the time the South African was finally dismissed, caught at cover off Barnard for 111, Northants had a healthy lead of 138. Dwaine had suffered as much as any of the Worcester bowlers, conceding more than 100 runs, but he finally had some success, trapping Hutton LBW for 8. Worcestershire needed to limit the damage and wrap up the innings quickly. Leach had Zaib caught off a leading edge at mid-off for 32, and after that Moeen mopped up the tail. Sanderson's slog sweep was caught at deep mid-on. And finally Buck's replacement Muzarabani lost his leg stump for 1. Northants 376 all out, a lead of 190. Wakely and Pretorius the key performers. Moeen's figures of 3 for 126 summed up Worcester's efforts with the ball. After a rain delay, the visitors had 17 overs to negotiate, but Mitchell fell well short, edging Sanderson to second slip to depart for 4. That was 22 for 1, and with just one more run added, yet another Worcester collapse was underway. First, Haynes was caught behind for 19, and in his next over, Sanderson had his third wicket. Ferguson bowled for a duck. For the second time in the match, Moeen was at the other end witnessing the carnage, and the viewing didn't get any easier. Milton trapped in front to complete a pair and give Sanderson a fourth. Moeen and night watchman Joe Leach steered them through to the close with no further alarms, but at 42 for 4 they trail by 148 at the halfway stage, with just 6 wickets left. It's hard to see beyond a Northants win on day 3. Northamptonshire cruised to victory over Worcestershire at Wantage Road. The end of day 2 found Northants well on top after the second Worcestershire batting collapse of the match. The visitors closed on 42 for 4 in their second innings, still 146 runs behind, after centuries from Wakely and Pretorius helped Northants to a total of 376. Moeen Ali and night watchman Joe Leach added 53 to the overnight score, before Keogh pinned Leach in front for 27. And from the very next ball, disaster for the pairs as Moeen was run out by Hutton for 40. Worcester 110 for 6, still 80 runs behind, and surely their last hope gone. Pretorius removed Cox's middle stump for 5, and the visitors were struggling to make it to the lunch interval. Ricky Vessels had other ideas against his former county and added 54 for the 8th wicket with Barnard. But when the giant Muzarabani had Barnard LBW, the lunch break was delayed with Northants sensing victory. Vessels raced to his 50 with 6 fours, and along with Parnell he did see the innings through to the interval, Worcestershire still trailing by 5 at 185 for 8. And they led by just 6 when they lost another wicket, Parnell emphatically dismissed by Muzarabani with 2 stumps out of the ground. With nothing to lose, Vessels hit out to reach 84, but when Tongue was caught at slip off Keogh, Worcestershire were 223 all out, and Northants needed just 34 to win. Sanderson with 4 wickets, the pick of the bowlers. The victory target was reached with the minimum of fuss by openers Newton and Curran, who required just 4.3 overs to race to 36 not out, scoring 17 runs each. Northants completing victory by 10 wickets in barely 2.5 days. The home side collect 22 points, Worcestershire just 2.